my perfect light.
Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. You gave it away. You saved me from tears. I'll give it to someone special.
Once bitten and twice shy, I keep my distance, but you still catch my eye. Tell me, baby, do you recognize me? Well, it's been a year, that doesn't surprise me. Happy Christmas, I wrapped it up and sent it with a note and said I love you. You know that I meant it, but now I see what a fool I've been. But if you kissed me once, you fool me again.
Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away.
You gave it away.
To save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. A crowded room, friends with tired eyes. I'm hiding from you, and you're so love lies. My God, I thought that you were someone to rely on. Me, I guess I was a shoulder to cry on.
Face of a lover with a fire in his heart.
Fire in his
A man undercover,
heart.
but you tore me apart.
Fool me once, I swear you'll never fool me again. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away.
You gave it away.
To save me from tears, I'll give it to someone. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. To save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. This Christmas, ooh, this Christmas, this Christmas, ooh, this Christmas, this Christmas, ooh, this Christmas, I'll give it to someone special.
Hi everybody, it's Chrissy from Knittin in the Heights. Welcome to Vlogmas Eve. If this is your first time joining me, thank you so much for checking out my channel. And if you are a returning viewer, as always, thanks for coming back. This is one of my favorite times of year, and if you don't know me, first of all, I live in New York City and I work in music education, arts education specifically. I am a viola player, and I have just gotten a position. I actually start on Monday as the executive director of a music and art school, community school in Tribeca. So I'm really excited, and we're gonna have lots of fun on some adventures throughout New York City during this December. So I always pop on right before I do a big Vlogmas episode or Vlogtober series of episodes to just chat, check in, show you my project, show you what I'm working on, show you my plans, just talk a little bit about life, because this is probably my longest episode of the season. I also will be announcing my giveaway for this Vlogmas season. This year I am offering 2 prizes. So 2 people will be winning some yarn and some other goodies that I'll feature later. So let's get into some knitting, you guys. I am surrounded by stuff. I am gonna show a project that I showed on my Thanksgiving vlog in case you did not tune into that. I finished the Huddling Penguins hat by Saskia von Dantzig. This is knit in drops Nord and drops Delight prints. The colorways I'm gonna list on the screen now. But as you can see, there's a beautiful color work penguin hat with a starry sky. I knit this for my son, Gabriel. However, this pattern, at least with my tension, because I'm not gonna swatch for a hat, you guys. It's just too small of a project. It's too small for him. I had to put it on, and yes, it could fit like the very tippy top of his head. It's like, it fits. I'm like, not really. And when you stretch it out, like, you can't really tell that they're penguins anymore. Not really. So anyway, I am re-knitting this, and I'll show you my progress on that in just a second. But I am planning to give this to my cousin. She just had a baby this autumn, and this would be a great hat to grow with him as he gets a little bit older. The other item I finished, and it was super quick to knit. I knit it in 2 days, actually less than 2 days. We got Whale Whale. Now Whale Whale is a little toy, and I'll put the designer's name below. Knit in some serious stash, the sparkly blue and blue colorway here. This was from a Dandelion and Dogwood Advent Calendar mini. It used not even half of the skein, and then just some bare yarn. I found some challenges with the pattern. I mean, it is beautiful. If I re-knit it, I need to double check that I didn't do something wrong. I don't think I did anything wrong. I followed the pattern. I re-knit several sections. But once you get to the decreases here, they weren't quite centered. So I think I'm gonna have to do some math, and next time I knit this, because I probably will knit this. It's actually really cute. It could make a great Christmas ornament for someone. It could make a great toy for a kid. So there were problems there, and when you do the fins, literally she copied and pasted the right and left fin, but they actually have to be mirrored. So what I did was actually I just alternated like what was the colored yarn and what was the bare yarn, and then it worked out for the second fin, because I actually ended up at the end of the second fin and I was like, wait a minute, it's upside down. So that doesn't work. But anyway, it's super cute. My daughter actually requested this as her Christmas present, one of her Christmas presents this year. I hope she likes it. If she thinks it's janky, then I'll just knit her another one. The other thing that I am struggling with, and we'll see this in another project, is mattress stitch. So this is mattress stitched all around. So yeah, that's a skill that I don't have. And this was like my first project. It wasn't my first project trying it, but it's my first project in a long time. And I mean long time, I mean several years that I've attempted mattress stitch. Like, I can do other like sewn together things, no problem, but mattress stitch for me was just a little bit challenging. Not sure exactly why. I may have pulled my stitches too tight. I'm kind of trying to maneuver the stitches now. I guess I could sort of fix it, but what it did was it created this ridge, and I made it worse, I think, by I sewed around it again. So I made it like a feature of it because I wanted to make sure it kind of looked the same on both sides. So yeah, so this is an interesting, cute project. It is a paid for pattern, but there are some notes on my Ravelry page of where there's errors. So if you are making this or decide to make this, I would just say take a look at my Ravelry page, project page for this whale, and just kind of note where there are errors so that you can kind of figure out some of the things to do to fix it yourself. Sorry about that. I am getting over a cough that my son brought home over Thanksgiving. But yeah, it was a great project to do, very quick to knit. It was very easy to do while watching TV. And yes, I know sometimes you can get lost when you're watching TV, but this wasn't that hard because it was so repetitive. Okay, so now let's move on to some works in progress. So let's start with the Huddling Penguins hat that I've cast on for Gabriel. I'm calling it Mach 2 because it is Mach 2. I did show this at Thanksgiving. I haven't put on any additional work, but if you haven't seen it already, thought I'd show it to you. I'm knitting it in the adult size. And yeah, it's coming along. Basically it's the same chart. There's some adjustments for each size. And so I'm just knitting the adult size. And if I remember right, I knitted a longer rib too, by the way, significantly longer rib, because I'm noticing with a lot of these colorwork projects, they knit these teeny tiny ribs. I don't like those. I like longer ribs. I'm noticing too, I have a really big forehead and big head in general, bigger than I thought, and so does my kiddo. So having a longer rib gives us a little bit more space. So yeah, so this is something that's coming along. I am into the color work. I have a couple more, well, I have one more fiddly project I'll show you. Then I'm going back to this as kind of my more pay attention knitting. So yeah, so this will be no problem to finish by Christmas with some sustained knitting time on it. It'll be done in days. So yeah, so it's knit in the exact same yarn. Nothing is different. And there's plenty of it, by the way, so I will probably knit other things using this yarn in the future. Okay, now work in progress number 2. This is my other fiddly project. So my daughter's half-sister, she's wonderful. She's a really sweet little, I think she's 6 now? I want to say she's 6. Her name is Aubrey. She's super cute. And so when Colleen was on the phone with me, not Gabriel, I'm a mom, I mix up names all the time. When Colleen was on the phone with me telling me her order for knitting for Christmas, she looked at Aubrey and said, "What do you want my mom to make you, Aubrey?" And so Aubrey requested a kitten, like a little cat. And you know, there's been a couple patterns I was going back and forth with. First I was thinking about there's one by Susan B. Anderson, and I decided I didn't want that to be the cat. I mean, it's a really cute pattern. I didn't feel like it would be good for Aubrey. I don't know. Because she had very specifics, like she wants the kitten to have pink cheeks and she wants this and that. Anyway, she was very specific on like certain things about it. And I've talked to her since about it. She's given me even more specifics. But she wanted this cat. I had seen a couple of really cute cat patterns that were knit by Russian designers that look a lot like amigurumi, but they are knit, and they're just not available to buy online, not in America anyway. So I found one that's actually a free pattern by Garland, and she does a lot of knitted toys, and the pattern, I will tell you, is a dream. It's absolutely beautifully written. There is no question. Like, there is no guesswork. Like with the whale, it literally said, do the intarsia technique. And if you don't know how to do that, watch the tutorial. So I had to spend a bunch of time to figure out intarsia, which isn't actually a hard technique at all. You literally just twist the yarn. It's not hard. Like, you do it a certain way, but like 2 minutes later, I knew how to do intarsia. But anyhow, she had this absolutely beautiful pattern that she wrote out. And so I am making the beginner's kitten, and this is where I'm at. But again, mattress steaming, not my forte. So it's knit in pieces, and like you join pieces as you finish things. And I want this to be the cutest little kitten in the world. She wanted a purple sparkly kitten, and so I pulled out again some stash yarn. This was again from the same Dandelion and Dogwood advent calendar. And so the light purple is in that colorway, and I had some Sweet Sparrow in like this really cool dusty purple, and I decided to add, the bare yarn was like, they tell you to use a white for the nose and for the belly, and I added a little bit on the tail, and I added some dusty purple to the tail. So you knit the head first, and you actually kind of finish off the head, not the ears. You put the ears on after you do the head. Not long after you do the head though, because you knit the back into the tail, and then you do the ears, I believe, if I remember right. I don't think you do the belly next. Anyway, but you do it in pieces and you add to it. But we're at the point where I had already mattress stitched up this side and this side, and I was like, this is not right. I was looking at the picture and I'm like, it's got a ridge, that's not right. So I'm going to watch some more tutorials on mattress stitching, and this time I think I'm gonna really focus and try to get some great tutorials watched to mattress stitch this up properly. So the next step is basically sew up the belly and then do the appendages, and you leave these little holes to put in the various appendages, and it's very thoughtful. I'm gonna put little like I'm gonna have like another dark purple appendage, at least one, if not two. I'm gonna have like a mitten, like a white mitten for one of the paws. So yeah, it is super cute, and I was able to embroider on with some yarn I just happen to have in stash, the nose, because you need to make a pink nose, and I used actually the drops in the dark charcoal to do the detail there, but I added on just a little embroidery for some pink cheeks for her. Super cute. I don't know what she's gonna name her. Maybe I'll just tell her to name her Violet. She's super cute little kitten. So yeah, I'm really happy with this little project. I do need to put some work into her today, because I do have some time today to do that. So yay. So this will be done. I mean, this is literally taking no time. I mean, it's much more fiddly than the whale. So I think I've spent 2 days on her so far. I probably have another day to, like, once I fix the mattress stitch, then I just need to knit 4 appendages and attach them. So this will be done soon, so I can get back to the hat for Gabriel. But really fun pattern. That one's actually a really fun pattern. So would highly recommend. All right, next. I'm gonna show an update on my tee, my rocket tee by Tanis Lavallee. This is a knit along-ish that I'm doing with Josh, my friend Josh, and anybody else who wanted to knit along. I think a lot of people have actually finished theirs. I have not, nor has Josh, although he is getting closer. So I'm past the splitting of the sleeves. I haven't put any more rows on it since I showed it, I think, at Thanksgiving. But the reason I'm showing it now is this may become some travel knitting for me. I plan to take it with me to Virginia when we go at the end of December. There's only a couple projects I plan on taking at that time, and this is one of them. This would be really easy car knitting. And the drive to Virginia can be anywhere from like 6 hours to 12 hours. And so I'll need some significant car knitting to do. So that would be very easy, because all it is stocking it in the round, and you just change color every so often. There's like a detail on the sides, but that's it. So I will come back to this. This will be something I'm going to be packing. I don't think I'll get back to it during December, because I have a bunch of December projects I want to get done that are larger projects. Next, another Christmas present. This is something that I'm taking as my bag knitting wherever I go, because it's an easy project. These are my subway socks. Because I live in New York City and I knit on the subway, and what I knit on the subway tends to be socks. I call them my subway socks when they're vanilla. And these are a pair of vanilla socks that I'm knitting for my daughter Colleen for Christmas. And I've been putting some work on them. I'm past the heel turn on the first sock. I put a little marker here, a little Dumbledore marker, to show where I was. I think the last time I showed this at Thanksgiving. So I put a little bit of work on it. The subways have been really crowded, so when it's really crowded, I can't knit because there's no room, because people are too close to me and I don't want to poke them in the eye or the arm with very sharp DPNs. Plus, it's hard to knit and stand in a crowded subway. I know people can do it, but if it's super crowded, I just don't feel comfortable doing it. But since I start work on Monday and I have to go all the way down to Tribeca, which is, I think it's 9 miles away, but on the subway, if I take the A train, it's like about 40 minutes to get there. It's not very far, but it's it's a good amount of knitting time, especially if I'm seated and it's not too busy. So I'll be bringing this with me as kind of my subway knitting. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting these done. These are knit in Green Lambkin yarns. This is her sparkle base, and the colorway is called Bunny Hop. It is an Easter colorway. Colleen did pick this for herself. I said, pick what you want for socks out of my stash, and this is one of the ones she picked. So yeah, so I've been working on that as I can. Okay, now let's get into kind of our more December-y knitting projects. So I am working on a Christmas sweater. It's a Christmas sweater that can be worn any time of the year though. and I think, well, 3 of 4 seasons. So it's a short sleeve tee called the Cloudberry Tee by Fiber Tales. I am knitting this in very, very, very deep stash yarn. Gotta be careful taking it out. In the colorway, Any Port in a Storm. The dyer is called Periwinkle Sheep, and the yarn base was called Wink because it's a sparkle base. Now, what is very cool about this is the sparkles aren't like just like a silver or gold or copper. It seems to have picked up the dye, and it's like it's almost the same red color. So the main color of this sweater is actually port wine, and the whole body basically is in this colorway. It's a really beautiful color to knit. It's not boring at all. It's knit in a very interesting construction where you knit one back side, you knit the other back side, you join them together, then you turn it around. Like after you knit so far, then you turn it around, and then you knit one front side and then the other front side, then you join them together, and then you knit so far, and then when you get to a certain length, you join in the round. So I have joined in the round, and if you see from my little Christmas plate stitch marker, I'm knit from here to here, which is no mean feat because there's well over 300 stitches on the needles. This is very vanilla knitting. This is like when I'm tired and I'm like, if I want to knit really late at night, or if I want to knit really early in the morning and I just don't have the brain capacity to think, this is what I've been turning to. I knitted exclusively for like 2 days over over Thanksgiving. And I am at this stage now that I've joined it in the round, because I used one ball of yarn for the back and one ball of yarn for the front at the top. In the colorways are so, like, I don't see any difference in the color. I am now alternating those skeins on one side under the arm, so that I'm doing the good knitter thing, you know, not the lazy knitter thing. What will happen next, and once I finish the body, because you just knit and stockinette, this is another good travel knit thing. I will be, well, I'm hopefully going to be done with it, actually, to be honest with you, before I leave for Christmas to Virginia, because I'd like to actually wear it out and about in New York. But then you do the sleeves, and the sleeves are what are interesting. There's a colorwork detail of a flower that goes all around. It has got baubles for the flower heads. It's really sweet. So the colors I'm using for that are these, whoa, not that one, are these two. And so the palette, even though it's Christmas-y, like, you know, it can read Christmas, it's not necessarily have to be Christmas. Like, I could see myself wearing a pair of like gray pants with this, or black pants to work. Like, this would be a great work sweater. Nobody think anything of it. It wouldn't have to be for Christmas, but it's kind of nice that I can wear it all year round, even though it kind of it reads Christmassy. So yeah, I've been working quite a bit on that. Sorry about that. My neighbors have little dogs. It's the first time I've really heard them. There's like, this is a pet friendly building, and so you get all sorts of animals in this building besides my 2 cats. Okay, so I have 2 more projects I'm going to talk about, but I haven't started, and I will be starting one today, if not both today. So I am going to be knitting an Advent project, even though today is actually 2 days before December 1st. I'm starting early because we are leaving on the 22nd, and I don't want to bring all my Advent stuff with me to Virginia to make my life easier. And it also helps with vlogging, and where my dad lives, he doesn't have like really high-speed internet, and so I don't know how long it would take to post several videos. So I'm hoping to get to, like, I would post day 24 after we get to Virginia, so that may actually post on Christmas Eve with like 2 or 3 days worth of material of like the drive down to Virginia, me getting Colleen, all that stuff. So yes, so, or I'll do like a Christmas Day one that I film Christmas Eve. But the plan is, sorry, tangent. The plan is for me to knit an Advent project. And the way I'm going to do this, my main Advent project is going to be using an Advent calendar from 2021, I think it was. It's the Lay Family Yarns Rainbow Advent Calendar. And you will have seen earlier in this video me winding up the first 2 days of that Advent calendar. It is a rainbow fade from pinks all the way down to purples and violets. And it's going to be used in the Timely Cardigan by Libby Johnson. I have been planning to knit this since I got this yarn. Like the minute I saw this yarn, I'm like, this is perfect. I would love to have a rainbow cardigan. I got like all the contrasting color. It's a baby blue, I'll show you. It is Knit Pick Stroll in the Frost colorway. And this blue is very different from the blue in the Advent calendar, so the blues will actually show up really beautifully as a contrast. But the plan is to knit 2 stripes in each day. So I will end up with 48 other colored stripes to rainbow fade down. So I have in this bag, and I was just looking for my needles, and in day 1 of Vlogmas, because I'm also filming that today, you will see me looking through my needle binder to see if I have any more of those needles, because I had to order needles, because what I want to do is knit the body on one needle, and when I do separate for the sleeves, instead of putting them on hold, I want to knit them at the same time concurrently with the body, and I already have one sleeve needle. But what I figure is I can probably start this, because my needles are on their way. If they don't get here by the time I actually start to knit it today, then I will go ahead and just start it on here and transfer them later. I just hope the cord's long enough. It's a 12-inch cord. I have to look at the stitch count. I think it starts really small and gets bigger, so I think that's possible, I hope. Anyhow, day 1 is this beautiful pinky color, so let's just take a look. So these will stripe. So you get 2 of those stripes, and then day 2 is this. And how I'm going to manage my knitting time, because a project like this could literally take over your life. If I don't finish this sweater during December, it's totally fine. Okay, this is totally fine. It just gives me a really good start into the new year to get this sweater done. Something I've been wanting to make for 4 years now. No, that's too many years. 3 years. It'll be 3 years, because it'll be 2024, and I decided to make it at the beginning of that year. So I will be putting on a timer every single day, probably first thing in the morning actually, for 24 minutes. And I only get 24 minutes to knit on this project each day. That is going to keep me really, really honest. And I think that's a good thing to do. So we're going to be doing that. That is my first project. Then there's going to be tons of, like, some of the colors, just going to be tons left over. So the next thing I'm going to do with those leftovers is take them to this project bag. And specifically the pinks, I'm going to make a project, and I'll probably do this with the other colors as well. I'm going to be using this yarn, this gray yarn I have. It is very deep stash. It may even be sport weight, like a light sport weight, but it's somewhere in between light sport weight and heavy fingering. I don't know. But anyway, this, I'm totally gonna, I don't care if it's, I don't think it's that different. We'll find out when I knit it up. But I'm going to take this as the main color and create the Show Us Your Scraps mitts using the pink colors, and possibly there's another pink in the Kitten bag. And I really like this pink, and I have tons of it, and it actually, I think, go really nicely in this mitt. But I need to make a gift for my dad's wife, my stepmom, Rosemary, and she likes pinks. And last year I knit her the botanic shawl, and she really loved it. But I think this would be, I had this in my deep stash. It was an advent calendar from somebody at some point, probably. That could have been Dandelion and Dogwood as well from their advent calendar. I don't know. It is a 20-gram skein. I'm not sure. Or it could have been when I bought. I don't know. But it's a really pretty color. And I think, let me see the other colors in the pink series. I mean, I think it would go really beautifully. Yeah, let me look at those. So I'm gonna do the Show Us Your, there we go, the Show Us Your Scraps mitts in those colors, and that we have a Christmas present for her. That is also something I am seriously considering knitting concurrently, like 2 mitts at the same time. So once I'm done with the yarn, I'm done with the yarn. I have a bag in my closet that has a bunch of scraps, but I might just grab a project bag just to put all the leftovers in, to see like how much of each skein I have left over at the end. So I was planning on doing that with the pinks for sure, the yellows. I have a dear friend who is obsessed with yellow, and I would like to make her something. And this is only like, hers are only if I have time. I can always give her hers later, but Rosemary's I'd like to do during the Christmas season. So when we come back to New York, because we're gonna be in Virginia. She's not gonna be with us in Virginia. She's gonna be with her kids. When we come back to New York, I can give a present to her upon arrival. Yeah, but the yellows, I want to eventually make something out of the greens for another dear friend of mine, maybe with a bare yarn instead of that gray yarn, and the blues. So I might save, like just put the color palettes into some plastic bags of the rest that are left over, just so that I can make some more of these mitts through the year, to make some really nice and easy and fast gifts. So those are my knitting plans. That is where I'm at with all my projects. In a moment, we'll be back with the giveaway information. So stay tuned. Well, that was only a moment for you. It was like, it was a minute for me. Okay, so I have 2 prizes for this year's December Vlogmas Yule giveaway. So let's start. They're both yarn prizes, by the way. Sorry, I've got a lot of stuff. Okay, so our first prize is going to be, I mean, it's not like a grand prize, a first prize and a second prize. I just happen to have 2 prizes. It's kind of like candy cane themed, which I thought was really fun. So first we're gonna start with this 50 gram, this is one prize, 50 gram skein of yarn from Nanette Wake Studio. And if I remember right, she's like from the Pacific Northwest or something. Yeah, and the colorway is Peppermint Squirrel. It's really very sweet, like pinks, like different pinks and hot pinks and stuff like that. Every once in a while you get a blip of like a yellow and a gray and like it's an orangey tint actually in there, that like I think the yarn color kind of, how do you call it? It broke into different, like to the different colors. And so because it has that really cool break in it, I found this in my stash, which I think goes beautifully with it. It is a sparkle yarn. This could be like your heel and cuff, like your cuff and your toe or something like that. But it is Yarn Cafe Creations in the Raspberry Torte colorway. And I thought they went together in a beautiful way. It also comes with this really cute stitch marker. It is a Peppermint Sweetie from So Sweet Violet, and a little Notions pouch also from So Sweet Violet, and candy canes. So that is the first prize. Our second prize, because it's more yarn. We have Craftily Dyed Yarn in 'Tis the Season. This is from last year. It's a really cool green and red and pinky with a little bit of cream colorway. I have 2 Progress Keepers on here, both from So Sweet Violet. One is a Santa Claus mustache and the other is a candy cane. And then we have this cool yarn to go with it for heels, cuffs, or toes. It's a 20 gram skein. It doesn't have the label on what color it is. And I'm trying to remember who made it. I cannot remember at this moment. But anyway, it's beautiful yarn. If I can figure out the yarn colorway, I will let you know. So those go together. That color is actually in the skein over here. So yeah, we have 2 prizes. So here's what you need to enter on this video. Please put in a comment down below and tell me this year. What your favorite Christmas song is, or what your favorite holiday song is. It doesn't have to be Christmassy. So if you don't celebrate Christmas and you are a big Halloween fan, tell me what your, if it's Monster Mash, it's Monster Mash. But tell us all your favorite holiday song down below. I will be pulling prizes before I leave for Virginia and sending them out. So if you can please put a comment in there by December 15th, then I will be able to, you'll be entered into this giveaway. So I wanted to show you guys our advent calendars this year before Gabe comes home from school. So I asked Gabe today if he was okay starting Advent early, and he's totally fine. So let's start with the Advent calendar that is just really sweet. It's a picture Advent calendar based on 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. And it has all these like cute little animals. And so this will be really nice for him just to really feel the spirit of like this anticipation of the Christmas season. Now, for his eating pleasure, he got himself a Reese's advent calendar. So there are Reese's Pieces as well as peanut butter cups. If he doesn't want them, I will definitely take them from him, and that's okay. He also got this year a Lego advent calendar. I don't know if it's officially Lego. I don't think it is. Maybe it is. I don't know. But this will be fun for him to do. No, I don't think it's it's similar to, it's Lego-like. It wasn't as expensive as the Lego ones, but he's really into Lego, and you know, when we're able, I'm planning on helping him put some of these together, so that'll be fun for him. Now for my advent calendars, I have one that's yarny and I have one that's stitch markery. So my advent calendars are from Green Lambkin Yarns, and I've been receiving installments like every month, or yeah, every month for 8 months. So the only problem with that is you just need to be prepared. You need to actually think about ordering it every 3 months. But I was pretty good at doing that, and I'm really excited because I love Suzanne's yarn. It is Christmas Around the World, and here is day one. I'm gonna pull it out so I don't have to try to find it. It's currently living in a bag from Craft House Magic. I don't have anything else right now that's free to put it in, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. I gotta figure out a way to keep these nice and in order. I might just put them back in here, or I might find another bag somewhere to put them in. Not sure yet. And then I have this beautiful advent calendar from Firefly Notes. And it is an advent calendar that is a tribute to the fairy world and celestial night sky, which I am so excited for. That'll be fun. Not that I need any more yarn or stitch markers, but 'tis the season. One other thing I want to talk about is an upcoming make-along that I'm doing along with APLCrafts here on YouTube. That's Alicia. And we are going to do a make-along called Choose Your Own Adventure. And I will put all of the hashtags and everything down below, but just so you can start to get some ideas of what you might want to do. The cast on for this will be in January, and you can start January 1st and end in the last day of March is the ending. So with the Choose Your Own Adventure make-along, you can choose several options to participate. So there are, I think, 4 options. One is you can finish a whip, okay? And this is something that you've been wanting to finish, something that you have had on the needles for a while. So you get a whip. You can choose to use stash, knit a project that uses stash that's over a year old. The third choice is to knit a project in Ravelry that has less than 20 listed projects. And your fourth option is to make a stash buster, something that uses more than 1,200 yards of yarn. So what's cool about this is, for instance, if there is a whip you have that uses more than 1,200 yards, you actually get to enter twice. So for each thing that you check off on that list, that's how many entries you get. And so we're gonna have 2 places you can enter them. One is on Instagram, and Alicia will be talking more about that because I believe she'll be drawing for, and we're still working out the details. But anyway, she's going to be kind of handling the Instagram, and I'm going to be handling the Ravelry group. So if you don't know, I have a Ravelry group. It's called Knittin in the Heights. You can go ahead and join as a member, and you can post. There's already a chatter thread there. I will be drawing one prize from the chatter thread, and I'm trying to think how many prizes from the other thread. 2 to 3 prizes from the other thread. It'll be yarn for sure. And in fact, I'll show you one of those prizes. I picked it up. Sneaky. I have some acquisitions, you guys, that I was not anticipating. One of them I knew I was gonna buy for this make along, but there's some coming in the mail that it's like, oh, that's nice. That's nice yarn. I need to get some. And hey, let's throw in another skein. Let's throw in another skein. Anyhow. So yeah, so we're gonna be drawing prizes. I'll be drawing from Ravelry. So you can go ahead and start chattering over there about what your plans might be. So my plans are to finish things like my golden oak shawl, which uses it's a whip, okay? And it uses stash yarn. I mean, I'm not eligible for prizes anyway, so whatever. But I plan to finish that. I plan to finish my rocket tee because that's also a whip. I was planning to do the Battenberg blanket that I've had on the needles for a few years because I have a lot of that done, and I'm going to actually enter that into, there's going to be a blanket make along over on Ollie and Bella's podcast and Allie's podcast, Little Drops of Wonderful. So I was going to kind of kill two birds with one stone, so do it for our own make along, but also over there. So this will be running from January to the end of March. So go ahead and start chattering away in the Ravelry thread. If you have any ideas of how you want to make this even more interesting, let me know. But while we're on the idea of prizes for that, so I will show you some acquisitions. So in the first day of Vlogmas, you are going to see me go to a yarn store here in New York. It's the first time I've been to this yarn store. It's in Brooklyn. I won't ruin the surprise as to which one it is. There's a few in Brooklyn. But I picked up a skein of yarn for you guys for this make along. And it is Yarn Love in this beautiful colorway. It's the Juliet base, and the colorway is called Tinkerbell. So this will be the prize for the chatter thread. So, if you're interested, again, I would really love to have you guys participate. I'd love to give away this. It's super squishy. It's so squishy. I mean, you will see these yarns that are at this store. I had some choices. In fact, I'll show you a colorway that I picked up for myself, and I'll tell you the plans I have for that. But again, I hope you guys participate in this make along. I'll show you the other yarn when it comes in. I'll be doing my December podcast as one of my Vlogmases, and that will be after I draw the winner. So I'll announce at that time. So it'll be like the 16th or 17th of December. All right, and so let's just see the acquisition I made for myself. Well, I'm all into the garments, you guys, but I'm all into like crazy variegated yarns. But what I love about crazy variegated yarns is when you do a color work project and you use that as your color work color and you use a solid color, it can be a stunning effect. And so I picked up this beautiful skein of yarn, Wool Met Verve by Sylvia. This is made in the Netherlands, and it's in the colorway, it's a one of a kind actually. One of a kind 9 is what it is. It's so pretty. Josh and I looked at it and I was like, which one should I keep? Because I was like trying to decide. He's like, that's the Chrissy colorway. The plan is down the line, not today, not tomorrow, to get a dark charcoal and make this the color work. And there's a couple patterns I've been looking at on Ravelry. They're in my wish list. I am like so in love with them. I will put them here on the screen. At least the one I'm thinking of. It's actually based on music, which is kind of cool. So yeah, this will be a project down the line. But I have so much other yarn to knit up first. It might be a year or two before I get to it. Yeah. So anyway, thanks so much for joining me. Again, if you want to enter, pop your comment down below. I will see you tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 1. Have a great day, everybody.
Hark how the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw care